name's Hoang. This is my my LinkedIn profile. I'm an e-learning advisor here at Roehampton University. If you look on LinkedIn, you'll find that I mainly work with Moodle and learning technologies and stuff. What you won't find, what I didn't put on my CV, is hello. Oh, what's going on here? Yikes! Are you sure you can run PowerPoint on this thing?
Yeah.
Why did I choose PowerPoint? What came over?
Can I put on my LinkedIn advisor to the e-learning advisor?
Here we are.
Hey.
Got it.
Okay, forward, backward arrows.
Oh yeah, that would be wrong.
You're probably using the PC key.
It's been used to Prezi.
Yeah, a little bit. Alright, what I don't put on my CV on LinkedIn is that I'm a handmade postcard fanatic. In my spare time, I send and receive loads of postcards. I also don't say that I'm completely addicted to social media. It's a problem. I get up in the morning, roll over, Twitter, I'm straight on there. And I have a very short attention span. So when staff come to see me, I have this bad habit of talking about anything other than work. Let's see where that led me today. Well, last year, I had a little conversation with an art teacher. Now, all art teachers kind of look a little bit like this. And Joe asked me to get the PGCE students and the art students, the art specialists, talking to each other while they were out on placement. So immediately I said, okay, I can manage that. And I came up with all of the usual, electronic stuff like Blogger and Flickr and WordPress and that thing that we've just installed this year, Moodle.
She wasn't having any of that, was she?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not, Amy. And I've got something that looks a bit like this. So obviously something was going wrong. Now, in my opinion, I'm an e-learning advisor, but I'm supposed to come in and advise on not necessarily electronic stuff, but I believe my role is to advise on the best technology for the job. So, at this point, the short attention span kicks in, and I thought about it. I thought, well, we're dealing with some students who need to keep connected to each other because they're out in school and they feel kind of isolated when they're out on placement. Well, what about on placement? It's nice to know, the reason that we were connecting people was because it's nice to know that everyone else out on placement is feeling as bad as you are. So that was why we were doing this whole thing. And the thing about social media is it gets people to share stuff with each other in a very public way. But I found in the past when I've put in social media into courses, it's been a bit too public. You post up on Facebook, I'm having a terrible time in school. It's not going to happen. So there does need to be an element of privacy in all of this. And finally, I figured, hey, they're art students. Now, I send and receive a lot of posts. So I figured, why don't we just start sending postcards to each other instead? We'll design the postcards, put them in a post, and send them. Now I've been sending a lot of postcards. I've been sending postcards for about 3 years, and most of the postcards I receive have got drawings on them, and they're very, very cool. I get about 5 postcards a day, and I send about 5 postcards a day. It costs me a fortune. Anyway, that was the favoured option. That was the best technology for the job, we decided. So we went along with postcards. Let's send postcards to keep in touch for on school experience. Now this is how it worked. We had a bunch of art students. Now art student 1 in week 1 would send a postcard to art student 2. Art student 3, 2 would send one to student 3, student 4 would send one to student, I'm getting really confused here, you get the idea, the picture says it all. So by the end of week 1, everybody would have received a postcard from somebody else in the group. Come week 2, we swapped it up a bit. Number 1 sent to number 3, number 2 sent to number, I'll let you do the maths. So by the end of week 2, everyone's got 2 postcards. Simple enough. The thing is, there was 13 students in the group, so we generated 169 postcards by the end of a 13-week block of school experience. And these were sent, I think they were made on Friday and sent on Monday. So you had the whole weekend to make them come the end of your school experience. This is the sort of thing they made.
Oh.
Now remember, they were art students and they were art teachers. We started, we saw loads of postcards coming in from handmade, all of them handmade, expressing an element of what had happened in the last week. And they were great. They were really, really good fun. And every week, 13 of these would go in the post and arrive on someone's doorstep. Here's some more. You can see they got a bit three-dimensional as well. So there's one of them up there where she'd sewed a pillow and stuffed it and put the address on, which is a bit I chopped out, and stuff it, and put it in a post, sewed the stamp on there. Oh no, is that my time?
No, it's carry on. It's very
Thank you very
good.
much.
2 more minutes.
So the nice thing about this was it went in a post, and there was never any chance of you getting tracked by your IP address. It wasn't going to happen. I like to call these discrete packages of information, and they were totally private. When they went from one person to another, they would just appear, and it would be this little package of fun on a Monday morning. Anyway, this is what the art teacher and the students said. They were saying how great it was that as art students they could actually make art every now and again. That the task actually made them put aside a little bit of time to make art and actually enjoy it again. They had to make a little bit of art and connect by sending them through to someone. So that was the senders. The receivers were saying it was just marvellous to receive something on a Monday morning and to know through that connection that people were having the same experiences. So that was nice. And the teacher as well did say that students loved it. Obviously, each student received 13 cards by the end of the session. They generated a whole load of them, so we put them on a big wall thing and displayed them in the library. We ended up in AD magazine as well, which is art and design education magazine. Yes, so we ended up in art and design magazine as well, and that was kind of nice. So I've got a quick comparison of social media and postal media here, just because it rhymes. So yeah, social media does emphasise this idea of sharing really quickly. Sometimes I think the speed, haste doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna, that it's gonna be good. Just because you can share quickly with a lot of people doesn't mean you're gonna consider what you send out. When you slow things down a little bit, we were seeing people creating wonderful works of art and really reaching out and making a proper connection with people. So I think in this day and age, there's still a little room for slow and considered reflection. The idea of sharing with many, that's all very well, but unfortunately, sharing with many, I feel, chops down the value of what you're saying. So instead, we have these unique messages using postcards. I like to say, when I'm selling the idea of postcards, we're not going to get a ton of spam through our letterboxes. My spam has gone right down as a result of sending postcards. And so instead of getting more information overload, having to check another blog for your course, you get a postcard, which is better than a bill, any day. And so we do spend a lot of time talking about developing future skills, and not enough time concentrating on this idea of putting a stamp on something. In a swap I ran recently, a school teacher said to me, with my secondary students, I've done a postcard, sent them off. One of them didn't even know where to put the address or stamp. Oh, and he was 14. So I do think there's still a place for this sort of thing. Anyway,
that's it. You're on.
My time's up.
Yeah.